Just really excited about their growth. I chuckled with them after last weekend, or actually after Saturday. We had our first outside scrimmage, and last week in our Mastodon scrimmage against ourselves, I told them, hey, we'd probably have beaten 2 out of the 31 teams on our schedule, and then we come out and we find ourselves up 30 against a Division I opponent in our scrimmage last week, and so there was major growth there. Those don't mean anything, but I like our talent level. I like how we're attacking, our process. I think we're growing as we get comfortable, with how we operate together. There's a lot of flow issues right now just because we have so many newcomers, but we're working hard at it, and I got no doubt this is going to be a group that's going to be, a very competitive, good group come February and March.
Of course, you guys were picked, 8th in the preseason poll. How much stock do you take into that? Obviously, games haven't even been played yet, but just how much stock do you take into that?
It is what it is. I respect what coaches say, but you're talking about returning players. We graduated 4,000-point scores, our all-time leading scorer, and one of the best rebounders in the country last year. So are we going to drop in preseason rankings? Absolutely. But we got some really talented guys that are taking on new roles. I love where they're at. I love the transfers. I love the newcomers who are coming in, and I like having an edge about us. And I thought this summer we challenged our group as hard as I have in 26 years of college coaching, and they responded over and over and over again. I think we're going to have a really tough team. And you look back at the 2 times that we've won our regular season championships, and both times we were picked 6th and 7th in the league. So it really doesn't mean much. And I'm excited to kind of see what happens once we tip it off.
How helpful has it been having guys like Johnny, like Q, like Ant, who have been with this program and have tried to set the standard for this season?
It's been great. They have a great edge about them because they know they've been talented enough to play for other teams in our league, but because of our talent base, they've come off the bench. They play different roles. I think they're excited about the new roles, and I just think they have a good edge about them. Where I really think we won out is in the offseason with our recruiting. It's a little bit of speed dating these days with how you recruit with the transfer portal and things like that. And so I feel like we really won out on the culture and the personalities as you go through it. And I thought my staff did an excellent job with that, figuring out the right fits. And it's really shown out this summer. I think we have great culture, great connection with our players, and looking forward to them growing on the court.
Speaking to Q, obviously, he was a guy who kind of played a lot of that 6th man role for you guys last year. What kind of things are you expecting out of him this year? Where are you kind of expecting his role to evolve coming into this season?
I love his versatility. You look at his size and you say, okay, he's got to be your point guard. And he probably is, better off the ball where he's scoring the basketball. But you put the ball in his hands and guys can't keep him in front of you. Our newcomers, they're miserable trying to guard him. And I promise you, Dame, who's over in China right now playing, he doesn't miss having to guard him every day in practice either. I think the role part of a role where we don't have 2 smaller guards, which limited some of his minutes last year. I think knowing that, hey, his play is the only limitation, his mindset's the only limitation, I think that's exciting. I think it's refreshing, and I expect him to just dominate his new role.
I know you guys do a lot of team activities off the court. Just how is this team gelling as a whole? Largely new group, but just how are they bonding?
I think those shared experiences are critical. Critical whether you have returning guys or newcomers. Just how do you create shared experiences? And, I from dining etiquette to ballroom dancing to community mentor meetings, golf lessons, all those things. I'm about getting guys uncomfortable and getting them comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that's where you grow. I think that's where you build your confidence. And I think it's really kind of fast forwarded this group, and I think they feel like they've been around us longer than maybe they have, and I think that's because of how active we are off the floor.